we with the use of ong, right? You see, ong is used quite often, and according to the subject pronouns you use. For instance, if the subject is, for example, I, sorry, I will go, okay? Then by dong, a, right? And if there is a the object you, the subject is I, and the object is you, then we use ong. I think I have written extra notes under your work in my reply.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So if the subject is I and the object is you, then we use ong.
Yeah, I got muddled because I had that written down. Actually, what you've just said, I had written down from last week's lesson. So I went through and did it like that. And then I thought, oh, maybe the aunt's maybe the John is the object. I got muddled up with what an object was really, and it was silly. Yeah.
And here's again, if the object is me, we use ong.
So if there is a, I don't know what the correct label is, but if there is another subject, so it was, let's say the sentence is, I will tell you something. Where does the something appear?
That something comes before ong.
Yeah.
So for instance, I will tell you my secret. Then I will tell you is ong hil tong e, right? Then if there is another object, then that object leads the sentence. Secret is tusim. Tusim. So I will tell you my secret means katusim ong hil tong e. So notice the ong hil ong, okay. I subject and you as the object, we use ong. Then ong hil tong e. Tong e is the future word for will. So and ong hil tong is will tell. Ong, I will tell. Okay, I will tell you. So katusim is my secret. The second subject, we say the indirect subject, leads the sentence.
So ong is saying my and me there.
No.
My
ong,
and you.
Ong is I to you. I to you. And the object me. So we have two situations to use this ong. The first is I as the subject and you as the object. Then we use ong. And the second is the second one is me as the object. let me give you another example sentence. If there is no you or me, then you simply say 동해, just the future. Pai 동해, I will go. There is no object you or object me. But if there is
Michael, you've used tongue as one word. Is that significant?
no, it's not significant.
Okay.
I will see you.
Let's say I will see you. Yeah. Then the subject is I and the object is you. Then you say ong. Mu is see. Okay. 동해. Yeah. So the sentence is like the use of ong is influenced by the I and you. I as the subject and you as the object. So ongmu 동해, I will see you. Then let's say I will wait for you. Then the subject is I and the object is you. So we say ong. Wait for is ngak, right?
Yeah.
Ngak 동해. The pronunciation which you struggled a lot.
Yeah.
ngak.
Yeah.
Nah.
The crow bird.
Yeah, the crow bird. ngak 동해.
So
yeah.
it's the help me bit that I don't understand. So where me is the
Okay. Like
My aunt will give me a present.
okay. My aunt will give me a present. Then we write like this. Kani in. Let's song ong pia do or a. So here this is something different from the sentences above, because in the sentences, in the first 3 sentences, we use the subject pronouns. Okay. If the subject is a pronoun, just use ong or 동해, 도해. That's it. But if the subject is not a pronoun, like in my aunt will give me a present, then we use the subject right here and followed by in to show the person that does something, that does the action. So kani in, my aunt, let's song present, ong to me, pia give, doe will. So kani in let's song ong pia doe. I put this subject intentionally that's way. You see, in these examples above, the subjects are the pronouns. If the subject are the pronouns, then you don't necessarily say in. Okay. So
in trying to do that one, I was looking back and found something that was composed of nong here.
Yep.
Could that be used in this context?
Nong is the subject you and the object me.
Oh, so it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, I've got in the answer to that one, kani in key.
Yeah.
KEI.
Yep.
What's KEI there then?
K is the emphasis me. We emphasize the me and we can put right here. Kani in K. Let's song ong pia do a. Yeah. You can leave out or you can say K as
Yep.
because the object is me.
Okay, it's emphasizing that the aunt is my aunt.
Yep. No. The person who will receive the present.
Okay.
That me, the object me. So, you see, okay, I will write another sentence. She will give me her book, and if the subject is she and he, we just say her book is alai bu ong pia to a. You don't need to say the subject because the subject is just she or he, so you can just leave out.
Okay.
Alai bu ong pe to a, right? But if the subject is not a pronoun, like my aunt will give me a present, then you don't leave out the subject. You mention the subject kani in. Let's song ong pe to a, and then you can add gay to emphasize me as the one to receive.
Okay.
That's why it is optional.
Okay. Just on that same point, same question. Just remind me. I know I should know this, but toy.
Toy.
Yeah. What's that?
Toy will.
Will.
If the subject is I will, you end with tong a. Okay. Tong a. The ending reflects the subject and the verb will. I will ends with tong a.
Yeah.
And
I will.
yeah, another subject ends with to a.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
And your auntie comes before the letter. I considered the letter as the object, so that would come first. So it would say let's song kani in ong pia to'e. No?
Yeah, it is also possible.
Okay.
You see, sometimes you put the subject and sometimes you put the object.
Okay.
That's very strange. Let's song kani in ong pia to'e. It's possible. Kani in let's song ong pia to'e. Possible.
So you could have done that with John will pick me up at the airport as well. You could have put airport first, could you?
Okay. Yeah. This is the airport is the place, right?
Yeah.
So, what was the English sentence, John?
John will pick you up at the airport.
Yeah. So, in this example, at the airport is the place, right? Then John is the subject, you is the object. Then if the subject is not the pronouns I and you, we simply say toe. So John in. If the subject is not a pronoun, we start with the subject followed by in to show the one that does the action. John in. The word for airport. Van Leng Tual. A means is the preposition of place. Van Leng Tuala. Ong Don To A. Right.
Yeah.
Here, the end. Please look at the ending. Sorry.
Yeah.
In this sentence, it ends with Tong A because the subject is I will. And if the subject is not I will, and it ends with Do A for the future. John will becomes John Do A. And Van Leng Tuala is the place. John in Van Leng Tuala Ong Don Do A. Ong, it is inclusive of the object you will pick you up. Ong. So if the subject is I and the object is you, we use ong. And if the subject is not I and other subjects, but the object is you, we use ong. So ong simply refers to the subject, sorry, the object you.
Mm-hmm. Could you just say again what you said in is doing there?
Okay.
Action.
Let me write in something like this. Sorry. In English, it's like this, right? But in Teizang, we put in.
Mm-hmm.
And the verb.
Okay. Yeah. But we still actually in that subject. Sorry, so I get it. I'm still not quite understanding then. That...
Whether or not to use in depends on the type of subject you use.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because the action is still written, isn't it? Picking up.
No, I mean, if the subject is I, and not you don't use in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
right.
if the subject is also you don't need to. Not in. You don't need to say in.
Okay.
But if the subject is apart
John.
from this I and you, then you say in.
So if it's John.
John in.
Yeah, but we and that shows the action of John.
Yeah, yes, the action of John. John is the actor.
But
John
we still write in what he did pick up. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So I will start with a simple sentence. Jesus loves me. Okay. So we just resu in. Okay. Okay. It. Here in this sentence, now the subject is Jesus, not the pronoun I or you. That's why we say in after Jesus. Jesu in, okay? And the object, me, gay. If the object is me, and we can also say ong before the verb. This is the main verb.
So it is loves.
Yeah, loves. Jesu in, gay hong it. Jesus loves me.
Yeah.
The reason why we use ong is because the object is me.
But that would work without K as well?
Yes.
Jesu
if you omit the word K, then it is understandable, it is possible, it's correct as well. But here we use K because we want to emphasize me.
What, the personal bit? Okay.
The one Jesus loves is me.
Yeah.
Like this. Okay. And it is optional. If you want to sound formal and like academic, say gay. And in the informal, never mind. Because if you say they suin on it, then it is understandable that Jesus loves me. The one he loves is me.
Yeah, I got you.
Without saying the words, it is still obvious that the one he loves is me. In this sense, you don't necessarily say gay. But if it's going to make a difference to the meaning without using K, and then don't omit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Then you see, from the moment I was writing that question, I already thought that you would have lots of questions about this, because this is one of the most confusing parts. I already knew.
Clever question.
Yeah.
Michael, can I check something on question 8? Only when you're finished with that, but if I could just go back to question 8.
Okay, feel free.
The Bible will guide you. Lasyang to lam. I put lamella. Should it be lam, L-A-M, or lamella?
L-A-M.
I
Just
thought it was
3
lamlak.
letters.
Just 3 letters. Okay.
What about lamlak?
Lamlak is guide. You see, when you say guide, and it is lamlak. Lam is, this is a combination of two words which has one meaning. Lam is the way. Lak is show, or you see, you show the way like this. So to mean guide, we use these 2 words combination. Lam lak. Only the word lak itself is show. But when you say guide, it indirectly means show the way of life and things. So we put lam lak, show the way.
Just a question of interest there. I often see the word lampi.
Lampi is the road, the way, main road.
Same sort of thing. Thank you.
Michael, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's going back to that Phil was just asking, because at the top of the page before the questions, you have, sorry, at the bottom, you have lamella for guide. That's what confused us, I think.
Lam ong lak, right?
L-A-M-E-double-L-A.
Guide equals lamella.
Oh,
Where's that? I haven't got that.
did I write that?
I've got lamlak.
I have lamlak.
Oh.
Have you got an auto spell checker on, Phil, that changes things? Because that's possible.
Ah, maybe. Oh, that's a bit confusing, isn't
No,
it?
I don't think so.
No. So, yeah, it was at the bottom. You know that the
Where it
phrase.
says tomorrow, Phil, Teizang, and help, send a letter, and so on. Attend a meeting, the church. We've got guide equals lamella, L-A-M-E-double-L-A.
That's funny.
I haven't.
That's weird. Look at that. Look.
Funny.
Guide is lamlak, only 2 words.
Yeah, sorry, then I don't know why it's done that. We've got it now anyway.
That's why. Maybe that's because I thought it sounded so strange when you read.
Yeah.
Lamella.
Yeah.
It doesn't even sound Teizang at all. It sounds like
Spanish.
Italian or something.
Spanish.
It is possible to change a spell check off for a specific document, I discovered.
Okay.
So that might be a good thing to do when we receive things.
Yeah, okay. I know.
It's in your options on Word.
Okay. Lamlak, only 2 words.
Sorry about
So
that.
just to clear that up, they're separated by ong in this.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Lam ong lak.
This is a very good question.
So the way you show. The Bible, the way you show.
Why do we use ong between these 2 words? Okay, so it depends on, you see, for example, we Teizang people use the verb object combination quite often. For example, lie, hill is simply teach in English. And like lam lak is guide. Okay, and lai sak send the letter. Tu ngien is pray, and buan sil. We have this kind of verb object combination. That is one. That's the one that really confuses you.
Okay.
Buan sil is wear a shirt. An one is simply cook. Okay, and one SOB sob. One sob is wash clothes. And what else? Nah, same. Okay, is walk. So here in the word for teach, in English you have one single verb to mean the same. So, but in Teizang, when we say teach, you teach like a teacher means teach a lesson. Okay, teach a lesson. So we put together the letter, and heal is teach. Here, lie is letter, heal is teach. But we combine the two words to say teach. So then, if I say I will teach you. If you say only one verb, like I will teach you, in Teizang, we would translate lai ong hil tong e. So the ong comes in between lai and hil. Lai ong hil, okay? Lai ong hil. Then the ong comes in the middle position between these two words combination. So lam lak is also guide in English. In English, there is only one word, but in Teizang we have two words. So ong comes in between. You have to squeeze in right here. Lam ong lak. Lai sak is write to somebody, send a letter. So I will, for example, right here, I will write to you. Then we would say lai sak is send a letter, but since the object is you, we use ong. Then ong comes in between. Lai ong sak tong e.
Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So we wouldn't necessarily know when we look at some of the vocabulary that we've got that that is made up of two words, would we?
So then back to the sentence. The Bible will guide you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then guide is lam lak, and the object is you. Then we say Bible is lai xiang to. This is a subject other than I and you. Then we use in. Okay. If the subject is not I and you, then we use in after the subject. Lai xiang to in lam ong lak to e. then the word ong comes between lam and lak. Here, this in shows the subject, like to in. You see, the simple verb is lam lak, but if the object is you, then you put ong in between the lam and the lak. Like to in, lam ong lak to e.
Okay, I understand that. Remembering it will be another thing, but
Yeah.
follow what you're saying.
Yeah.
Then sorry. My father will send me So in this example as well, we have money is sum, right? Sen is sak, so we combine the words. Sum sak is send money. Since this verb is a combination of verb and object, then my father will send me some money. Me is the object, so we use ong. So we should translate. My father is kapa. Since the subject is not a pronoun, then we use in.
Yep.
Kapa in. And sumsak, we have to separate the sumsak and put in ong. Yeah. Kapa in, sum, ong, sak, to e. My father will send me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're having a problem because we like to see things written down. For people who are just speaking this, that was never a problem because they wouldn't hardly consider that as one word. It would always have been two words. They just put them together quickly. So that's why it's difficult for us.
Yeah.
And exactly that's the one that makes it difficult to explain. It's also a kind of analysis for me.
Yeah.
Analyzing the language.
So are you saying that if somebody said kapa in sumsak, they wouldn't put the ong in? If you're saying it, you wouldn't put the ong in the middle.
Kapa in sumsak.
To.
Okay. To.
Yeah.
To a. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then in English it would sound like this. My father will send some. You don't know where the money is going to. My father will send some money. To whom? You don't know.
Okay. Yeah, to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Ong shows the object is me, so to me.
Yeah. So you would still say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What I was saying, Rhoda, was to Teizang speaker, sum and sak are almost different words. They don't see them written down often, so they would automatically put ong in without thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But we don't because we're seeing it as one word.
Yeah. Thank you.
Steve, you have a question?
No, I'm following it diligently. I have the same issue as Phil, remembering it.
You have that look.
No, this is the first time I've been on the class after homework.
Yeah.
And I do think it's really helpful.
Yes.
Definitely.
What we've already got our heads into. So
it's a much slower pace.
You see, discussion after homework is, you see, I think a very good way of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the homework, I put something I thought might be confusing. Then that would arise some questions.
Yeah, questions 1 to 10, I think, come under that category.
You see, some questions they are obviously very easy, right?
Yeah.
For example,
First three.
the first 3
Yeah.
and number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, they're my correct ones.
Yeah. Same here.
So one thing you have to bear in mind is the use when we learn the use of this, like the future tense, the use of the sentence. You see, in English, when we talk about the future, we have to learn the use of will, the use of the be, going to, and like this. But in Teizang, you don't just learn the verb. You have to take note of the agreement with the subject and the object. And that's the strange point. In English, you don't worry about what the subject is, what the object is. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not very important. But the only thing you have to learn is when and how to use will, and that's enough. But in Teizang, no, you have to learn what goes with what and what meanings they make. So I'm better of writing like this. I will simply dong a, and if the object is you, then you would put ong, dong a. Okay, and if the subject is another pronoun, then you don't use any ong. You just say do a. And if the subject is you will, then in Teizang, do te, it ends like this. Then if the subject is a different one, okay, maybe a person or something, not a pronoun, then in Teizang we say subject in, okay, object, then verb, do a. This is the form. So I will write one example for each one.
Thank you.
I will go home. Go home is kal, okay? Kal, okay. Kal is go home. So please have a look.
Michael, can I just check one thing with you, basic thing? I'm sorry, because I think I ought to know this, but
Okay.
what's the difference between tor te and tor a?
Yeah. Do day. Do day is you will. You will means do day.
I will.
So the ending of the Teizang sentence varies based on the subject. If the subject is I will, then dong a. If the subject is I will and the object is you, then we use ong, dong a. And if the subject is other than I, then you use if like a pronoun he or she will, then simply say do a, do a. If the subject is you and you will, then do they.
Got it. Thank you.
Only one clarification from me, please. Does that work for both singular you and plural you? Do I?
Oh yeah. If the you is a plural you, then you as the plural, then you say do u a. Ah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Could I just ask a question on when we use torte? What's the for CIH?
Ji, do ji, the same.
So either or.
Yeah, do they and do ji.
Yeah, doesn't matter which. Okay.
Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't follow that.
Okay. Here in this example, you will. Then in Teizang, you end with do they, right?
Yeah.
And in place of this TEI, you can use CIH. Do
okay.
In the place of this.
How do you say CIH again?
Ji. No. Let me find the English sound. Well, can you say Aung San Suu Kyi?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
Yeah, that Chi song.
Chi. Okay. Yeah, Chi. Like when we say Ching Kao Ho instead of Sing Kao Ho, King Kao. Yeah, Ching.
You see, one of the names of a town in Thailand. You know Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai? No. Then ja. So please look at my teeth. Ja. Yeah, that song. Ja. Ji.
Yeah.
The C sound for Teizang.
Ja.
Ji.
Hard one, that.
So my aunt's name. My aunt's name is right. My aunt's name.
We say it wrong.
How do you say?
Ching Kao Ho.
Ching.
How?
Ching
How?
How? Ho. Ching Ko.
How?
Yes. These HAU songs like this.
How?
How?
And what about the first word?
The first word. No, not the ching. Just ching.
I've been calling her the wrong name for years.
So have I.
She's very patient, very gracious.
No wonder she giggles.
See, it's okay because you are not expected to pronounce correctly.
Yeah.
When it comes to names.
You have very low expectations of us, which is very very
not
wise.
No expectation, but understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, give me that ching, ching, ting, ching sound again. How do you say that first?
Ji, ji.
T,
Just
ting.
here my teeth. Just jing, jing,
Ding,
Ding.
jing, jing.
So it's a bit like ka-ching.
Yeah, that's why jingle.
Ching,
Very close to the jingle bell.
ching, ching.
Yeah.
It's in place of the Ji sound. It's jing.
Oh dear, it's going to really confuse me when I see her now.
You're gonna make a face when you say her name.
Jing, jing.
I think I call her Ni Hao. Is that appropriate?
Ni hao
Yeah.
is Aunt Hao.
Yeah.
Mm.
Aunt Hao.
She seemed to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Ni Hao.
It's
You might have told us that, Steve.
a close term.
Uh-oh.
Very close.
Oh.
When you say somebody's name like Ni or Bu and Ba, then you feel close to them.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do that. Ni hao.
Michael,
So
sorry.
okay.
You
Yeah, go.
you remember an evangelist we had? He lived in Munlai, Go Kor Hao.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce his name. Is it Go?
No?
Go
NG.
Kor Hao.
NG, right?
NG.
Ngo.
No.
No.
Ngo Ko Hao.
Kor
Okay.
Hao.
That's the Teizang sound for Ji. But in Didim, you say go Ko Hao.
Yeah.
But for Teizang, you say Ngo.
Oh.
That's
Mm.
interesting because in England, he's often referred to as a sort of a cow because they get the Kor and the Hao mixed up.
Go Ko Hao.
Hao.
Go cow. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And so back to these examples. Have you got any questions on this? The examples of these forms. I will, then I will go home means go home is kal, then kal tongei. If you say a sentence, if the sentence begin with I will, then in Teizang you end with tongei. You see, the order of the sentence is a complete reverse to the English.
Yeah.
So, like in English, you begin with I will, and in Teizang, you end with I will. The beginning and the ending, you converse the place, like a reverse place. So also the same in Myanmar. That's why till today, even though the Chin people speak Myanmar, we misuse the place of the words, the order of the words. We just directly translate like the Teizang translation, but in Myanmar language, it is not the right way. But understandable. So we think we are good enough. So I will as the subject and you as the object, and you have to use ong and tongei. So I will call you means ong sam tongei, or call is simply call, not a phone. You call somebody, come, then you say sam. But call somebody on the phone, you say hopi, ong hopi tongei. We have two types of call. Face-to-face calling is sam, and calling on the phone is hopi. So here the subject is I and the object is you. Then we use ong and with tongei. Ong sam tongei or ong hopi tongei. And here she will, sorry, not guy, by.
Bye.
I meant to write by.
It's okay.
She will buy. She will buy a car. Then here the subject is not I. Then you don't necessarily say ong. So, car is motor, buy is lei, will is to a. If the subject is a pronoun like she or he will, she will, then you end with to a. To a. Mo to le to a.
Mhm.
Then here another example. He will agree. Agree is lungkim. Okay. So since the subject is he, you don't necessarily mention he because it is understood. So lungkim to a. But if the subject is rather than a pronoun, like Steve will agree, then you put Steve lungkim to a.
Okay.
You begin with the object.
Mhm.
Here, back in this sentence, let's say she will buy a car. It's motor le to a. But if I say the subject as a name, like Rhoda will buy a car, then in Teizang you begin with the subject. Rhoda in. Okay. Since here subject in. Rhoda in motor le to a. We put in. And you will see it. See is mu. Here in the form you will, you start with you will in English, then in Teizang you end with to te or to ji. Okay.
Mhm.
So how is that different from you will see without
You
the
will
it on
see
the end?
the same. We don't
Okay.
we don't necessarily say the object, the pronouns. We leave out the pronoun because it is regarded already understood
Okay.
what you mean. Okay. So previously we're talking about something, and then we go on picking up this topic, and then you will understand it.
So if
In
it
English,
was you will see
you mention,
Tony,
okay. Then if you say here in place of it, you will see Tony, then you begin with Tony mutote.
okay.
Can I just check one thing with you, Michael? Sorry.
Okay.
Just going back to he will agree, lungkim toy.
Oi,
If you add the pronoun to that, as you said, Steve. So is it Steve in lungkim
toe.
toy? You put
Yeah,
in.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Stephen Kim Toy. And as I was saying, lungkim agree is it is a non-action verb, right? Lungkim agree in English. It is a non-action verb, right?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily say
And you
in.
did. No.
Yeah, you can leave
So
in out. Okay.
Steve lungkim toy. But if you do say Steve in lungkim toy, and
That's
nothing
okay.
is wrong with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just realized I thought I've just said you can leave in out.
Yep.
So would you
It's all
say
about
Tony in mutote?
Tony in mutote.
Would you just say Tony mutote?
Tony mutote. Because
No.
we put in just for the subject right here. Let's see this. Daniel will sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel is a subject. It is not a pronoun.
Mm-hmm.
Then we say Daniel in la sato e. Sam will use my car. Then we say Sam in kamoto my car. Zang is use. To a is will. So if you say you will see Tony, then put Tony right here at the beginning.
Yeah.
Tony mutote. That's it. Just put the object first.
And that's
before
because
verb.
the object is not active, not doing anything.
So you will see Tony and Tony mutote. Okay. Let me write another. notice the difference? You will see Mutote. You will see Tony, then just put Tony right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But in the last sentence, Tony will see my father. Then we put Tony in. This is the subject.
Because he's doing
Kapa,
it.
yeah. Kapa, my father, the object. Muto
How'd you say you will see Tony today?
Okay. You will see. You will see is muto te or mutochi. Okay. Then you will see Tony. Then Tony. We begin with the object. Okay. Tony mu to te. Then we put the time word. You will see Tony today. Then in Teizang, you can begin with the time word. Tuni, Tony, mutote.
That's what I wanted it to be.
You intentionally asked that, right?
Yeah. Oh dear.
This
This is
Tuni,
why. Sorry.
this is Tuni is the time word for today. Tony is the name. Tuni, but we don't song. We don't song t. We see, you see ta. Tuni, Tuni.
Tony Mutate.
Yes.
Oh,
It's why I feel very sorry for Kuboy and Joseph when they're translating, because they have to wait for the whole sentence to get the words in the correct order in Teizang. And it's really tough, that.
Yeah.
Understanding is easy. Translating
Yeah.
is a different matter,
Yeah.
because the word order is quite different from the English. And you see here in this sentence, you will see Tony today. The word for today is Tuni. So you can put the time word after the object. Tony, Tuni mutote. You can still say that, but you can start with the time word. Tuni, Tony, mutote. It depends on the choice of the speaker.
Sorry, I was having a bit of mischief there.
You're going to offer me tuna later, aren't you, Steve, as well? Today to Tony.
Yeah.
You will see, for example, my father. And how do you say this? You begin with the object, okay?
Kapa.
My father, kapa,
Kapa.
see.
Mu.
You will. Tote is you will.
Yeah.
And let's put some other words. You will see my father at the church. At the church is a place word, right?
Byakin.
It has R.
So you have two choices. Okay. Kapa biakina mutote. Here, remember, we put the time word after the object. But you can start with the time word, the place word. So, biakina kapa mutote. You can say that. This biakina can come after or before the object. Biakina, okay.
So on the example example, the questions of number 5, that could have been round the other way tonight and at the church. Yeah. Okay.
So the question number 5, you can write like this in 2 ways. The question is, he will speak at the church, right? He will speak at the church tonight. So we have tonight the time word, and at the church the place word. Then tonight is nitak, sorry. Nitak jiang.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yak ina. Tu soi do a. Or you can start with the place. So here in this first example, we start with the time word, and it is followed by the place word, biak ina. And below we start with the place word, then followed by the time word.
Okay.
So David will speak would be, you see there's no object, then you begin with the subject. This shows the action, that's why we put in.
Yep, got it.
David in tu soi to e. Then we extend. So it would be like this. David in, then the place. Here, remember, between before the verb, we put the place word at the church. David in, biak ina tu soi to e. Then, in English, speak at the then we have here we have the place word and the time word. Then you can either start with the time word or the place. So Ditakjeng biak ina David in tu soi to e. Or you can start with the subject. Sorry. You start with the subject. David in tu soi to is will speak. Yeah, nitak jiang is the time. Biak ina is the place. You can put like this, or you can put the time and the place in the beginning, and the subject verb order. It's your choice.
You would never do that, Michael, if you only had the place word. Only if you've got a time word would you change them over.
with only place word.
Yeah. With only place word, the pronoun must come first. Is that right? So David will speak at the church tonight.
David
Sorry.
will speak.
Where David will speak at the church, you always put David in. Like,
David in Biagina to Soitoi. No, you can start with the place.
okay.
Biagina David.
Okay. Thank you. Got it.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
So what would you say, please, if you were saying David will go to the hospital to see his mother? Or do you just simplify that down to one verb? Because we've got two verbs in there, really.
Hospital.
To see his mother, yeah.
Then
Via the church where he will speak.
okay. To the hospital.
Right.
To the hospital. Hospital is zato. Okay. Zato.
Okay.
And we can also say zato for clinic. Then some people would say zato B to mean hospital. A bigger one. Bigger than clinic. That's when we say B. Zato B.
Mhm.
But simply, when somebody says zato, then it can mean hospital or clinic. So, hospital is a place. Then we say zatoa. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And this to see is a purpose. Then to verb would be in Teizang. Ing.
Mu ing ing.
Yes, to see. So we can say David in.
Mhm.
Then we put the purpose. Anu,
Okay.
his mother, mu in to see, and then we'll go to.
By the way. Excellent, thank you.
David in. You see, the simple sentence without to see his mother is David in the door by door A, right?
Mhm.
But to see is the purpose. Then we put between in and by door A. In anu mu in. Okay, this mu in is to see his mother. So we
That
squeeze
helps.
in. Yeah.
What's the
David
ing? Mo-
Sorry?
What's the ing then? I've forgotten that. You move
In
ing.
is to see. Mu in.
Oh yeah,
In.
sorry. Okay, yeah, see. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So
What's Anu?
His mother.
Anu is his
Mother.
mother.
Okay. Sorry.
Her mother, his mother. We use for the pronoun his, her. To see. Mu in. Okay. Then to buy. Lei in to show the purpose. We use in mu in to see, to buy, lei in.
Yeah, I've seen that written down before.
Thank
That
you.
helps.
Yeah, I've forgotten that.
Walk is na sem. To walk is in.
Mhm.
Na sem in. So
Mhm.
let's let's do like this. Mark will go to Australia to walk. Then Mark
Australia. Yeah.
Mark will go is Mark Australia by Doe. But to walk is na same ingin. This is the purpose. Just extract these words, then the sentence becomes simple.
Okay. Yeah.
Mark Australia by Doe. Mark in Australia by Doe. But if there is a word to show purpose, then we put the purpose words after the subject. Mark in the same ingin US Australia by Doe.
If you left the ing in out, would it be nonsense? If it was Mark,
then it would. Mark will go to Australia.
so you couldn't say Mark in Nasem Os Al Piatoe.
And it has no sense.
Okay.
Nonsense.
Mark in Australia. Mark in Nasem Australia by Doe, right? Without ingin. If I leave out ingin and just say Mark in Nasem Australia by Doe, then it is no meaning.
Okay.
Thank you.
But people will understand what you mean, what you're trying to say.
But the ingin turns it into an action.
Yeah.
The purpose.
It shows the purpose. The purpose
Mm. Mm.
to walk is
Thank
the purpose
you.
of going.
Every one of these, I take my hat off even more to those who translate.
I know.
In the same thing, Tony.
Yeah.
If you had one on, you mean?
Yeah. Makes my hair stand on end as well.
Simplicity is the word.
If somebody says I can't translate, I go, I understand.
Mm. When Celia, when we had Day P, remember how she was very happy to put English into Chin, but she didn't want to do it the other way, and now I really get it.
Yeah.
I understand why. Yeah.
You see, it's a bit easier to translate from English to Teizang. It's easier, but from Teizang to English, much difficult.
Yeah. I understand now why. Yeah.
And you see, the same is true with other languages.
Mm.
From English to Myanmar, it's very easy to translate from English to Myanmar, but from Myanmar to English is quite a different matter.
Mm.
Like the reverse translation.
Yeah.
That's been very helpful, Michael, this morning.
Yeah,
That's
thank
helped
you.
me
Mm.
along and few things.
I suppose I have confused you enough.
No.
It's
No,
really
you
good.
haven't. You've done the opposite, actually.
Made it clear.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just remembering it now.
No.
And so this you see the confusing parts. That's why I left it for later discussion.
Mm.
I didn't tell you this in the beginning.
Yeah.
If I had told you this, and you would have given up.
Yeah. We'd have
Yeah.
said no more, thank you.
I
Yeah.
imagine you've got more up your sleeve as well.
Oh.
So, Michael, it would be great to have my homework back just to
Yeah.
see how I did. If you don't mind,
Yeah.
that would be good.
In a minute.
No, not urgent.
I think it helps explain as well a lot why it takes longer to say something in Teizang than it does in English. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 words become 10 words
No.
on that one.
Yeah. And also, if you're not very sure or confident, you might say it 2 ways, mightn't you? Kind of repeat.
Making sentence is easier in English.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you in our first lesson, the English language has a more systematic way of structure. See, it's more systematic than how do we say? It's easier to learn, easier to construct a sentence. The construction is easier to understand and a bit we say more simple. But in Teizang, the sentence construction is totally dependent on the type of sentence and the words you say. That's why. You see, let me give you one example. When we learned the English, okay, we would learn like this. Okay. Then, following this frame, we can make many sentences. I will go. The object is optional. I will buy a car. Okay. After this object, you can use the place word and the time word. They are optional. And so she will come. They will come. You will see. And no changes in the in the structure. But in Teizang, your choice of subject makes a difference to the structure. For example, I will becomes dong a. You will becomes do de, do j. Okay, and he will becomes do a. So, it's more confusing than the English. So
I'm going to write those out. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to write those out in full later on because that will help me see all the different ones on each of those options.
Not only you.
Actually, on that point, do any of us pupils have an up-to-date vocab list? I know we all make our own.
You see, I suggest you have a list for sentence structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need that, and also we've got hundreds of words now, so it would be good to have a central library of those. And I think Tony might be ahead of the game on that with his database. Are you up to date, Tony?
It's not far off. I've got 429 words in it at the moment.
Is there any chance of a download of that in any format? It doesn't really matter.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you very much. I started to put them in the other day and it took me forever.
So let me interrupt. You see, from our present condition, I think what we need now is sentence structure. You've got you see quite a number of vocabularies, and the only thing that you need to have, in my opinion, is how to construct a sentence, how to use the vocabularies you have learned into sentences. So it would be very nice if you have a list of sentence structure like the ones I just wrote down.
Yeah.
I'll try and put something together, definitely, because that is helpful. A lot of the words are beginning to stick now, which is good.
You see, if you need, if you like, and I can make that for you. List of sentence structure with the English.
That would be helpful.
That'd be brilliant.
The English
bound to get it wrong.
Parallel,
Yeah.
I will write in parallel.
Thank you.
I didn't say this, Michael, but please, yes.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I'm the one who suggests. So I'm the one I'm the one to be in charge of it.
Can I just say
Make sure
again?
right.
Can I just say again that having done the homework last night and then
Uh-huh.
revisiting it together today is hugely valuable.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
My mind was already kind of in the zone.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good approach for future.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think that way.
Mm.
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot today.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, well, we didn't learn that much, but we go back to the lesson and discuss. We how do we say, we unveil the traps I put.
That's very useful. Yes.
You're very patient, because I realise when you answer questions sometimes, actually you've told me it before, just a minute ago. Sorry. Like, I'm just going to ask now again.
Be with you, Rhoda.
I'm just going to ask again though. What's the P for? Oh, it's gone.
Sorry?
The P that you had at that last sentence. I've forgotten what it was. It was subject plus will plus verb plus object, and then P.
Place.
Place. Thank you. And time.
T
Thank you.
is for time. Yeah.
Yeah, got you there. Thank you.